Guys, it's Chris Moulton, Andrew Martin. It's the Union Report. We have with us the first assistant, Jeremy Clark. What's going on?
Getting ready for the season. Good new year, and excited to get things going here in a few weeks. So.
All right, so I asked him off camera. I'm going to ask you on camera. Can you kind of break down exactly what the first assistant exactly does?
Yeah, so I'll be working with Jordan, day-to-day operations and on the field as well. Really his assistant coach and helping him what he needs as well as the guys, and really trying to push forward towards the season and our goals and coming up with session plans and how we want to go about things tactically and making sure that happens, but as well, really helping the guys out with their individual needs and making sure they're understanding their roles and responsibilities and really just kind of being, a voice, for Jordan as well as the team. So.
Awesome, Andrew. You got a question?
Yeah. So we were also talking off camera about how specifically you're not going to be working with goalkeepers like you have frequently throughout your past in your career. Was this the first opportunity you've had to kind of take the leap into the first assistant role?
Yeah, so a good question. I've done a numerous amount of roles and coaches. I've been a head coach at the youth level. I feel like the past roles that I've had, I did work with the goalkeepers, but I've also kind of had this assistant role where I've done multiple facets or wear different hats. Where working with the back line or being in the set piece role or those types of things. So I feel like that's a comfortable spot for me. It's kind of not my first, but kind of is my first role, stepping away from the keepers fully. But I feel confident about it and ready for that opportunity. So.
All right. And I do want to tap into your expertise working with goalkeepers. Yeah. Something that's kind of kicked around in my head for a bit as we've been, working on covering the team is what is one skill or trait that a successful goalkeeper has to have above all else?
Yeah, I think for me, leadership and communication. You're a guy who can kind of see the whole field, and especially the back line, and being able to prevent things when they happen, but also being a leader that guys can rely on and off the field. It's a huge quality for us that we look at guys who play that position at all levels is someone the team feels comfortable and they can rely on, but also someone that can lead by example. A comment that we always make as goalkeepers, we're the hardest working people on and off the field, because it's a game where you could do absolutely nothing for 90 minutes. And then in that 90th minute, we need you to come up with a big play. And sometimes you have to be the hero, and sometimes you end up being the villain. So it's a difficult role, but I think leadership and that communication piece kind of go hand in hand in those moments.
Thanks.
So I'm curious, when I was reading the press release, when they were announcing that you were joining the staff, I saw a lot of coaching experience from Oakland Roots, the Bay FC, or the town. The town?
Yeah, the town. Yeah.
The town, the Bay, whatever. It's something that. But plenty of college experience. I know we had talked at the Christmas event, and you're a Michigan State guy. Did you play previously at some type of college, or I didn't see anything?
Yeah, so I grew up in Michigan. Ended up playing at Michigan State University. Was there for 4 years, and then I played for Detroit City FC as they started. I was one of the first players ever signed for them in 2012. So I played for them in 2012 and 2013, and then I kind of from there transitioned, mostly into coaching and focusing there at the time. So. I bounced around a lot throughout my career, but yeah, that was my playing experience kind of went there, and then I did make a brief stint with a team called Minneapolis City, who's a team out there. I think they play NPSL or USL2 now. When I was coaching with Minnesota United.
Oh, very cool. And were you a goalkeeper?
Yeah, I played. I trained with them, and then I ended up playing one game for them that year. So it was a cool experience to get back on the field. I kind of stepped away, and then got back out there, and those guys kind of gave me opportunity to kind of keep my feet wet in the game from a playing standpoint.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Totally. Andrew, you got another question?
Yeah, I guess my final question is, besides whoever ends up on this year's roster, who is one soccer player, either current or in the past, that you would have liked the opportunity to coach?
Yeah, that's a very difficult question. From a goalkeeper coaching standpoint, I've always idolized Iker Casillas. He's been a guy that I've looked up to, so I'd love to coach him or just, be around him. Obviously from like a field player side, I think, working with guys like a Virgil van Dijk, who's a center back, my best friends kind of growing up as a goalkeeper were the center backs. So working with those guys and seeing how they see the game and understanding their situations, those are guys that I kind of like try to relate with a lot.
Sure.
Tell guys, especially goalkeepers, your best friend besides the post are probably your center backs. So.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, we don't have anything. We know we stole you from your lunch break, and we don't want to hold you up. So we really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. The fans really love to get to know players and staff and everything. So thank you so much, Jeremy. Appreciate
it, guys.
Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Cool.